After many trials and many tribulations, test after test, experiment after experiment, I've finally done it. I've created the perfect ostrich steak recipe. Stay tuned, everybody. I'm going to teach you guys how to make it. So what do you need? Well, first of all, you're going to need your ostrich. This is an 8-ounce cut. Now, ostrich is a very temperamental meat, albeit tasty. It's similar to a red meat, like beef, but it also is a poultry. It's very confusing like that. It's one of those meats that can be tricky to cook, so you have to watch it. It can dry out, and nobody likes that. Because it's rather expensive, it is exotic meat for the most part, depending on where you live. I believe this one was $7.99 for those 8 ounces, which isn't very cheap, I'll tell you that. So I don't want to mess it up, and I know you guys don't either. But I love exotic foods. Foods you can't have every day, something that excites your palate. So for spices, you're going to need a little bit of thyme, a little bit of sage, a dash of marjoram, some rosemary, black pepper, nutmeg, and a little salt. Now, you never want to salt ostrich until the very end, because salt on meat makes it dry out, and ostrich steak dries out rather easily, like I said. So let's go ahead and get our stove started, and I'm going to show you guys what to do. So very first thing we're going to do is come over to our stove, put our pan on medium heat, and then we're going to get out our oil. Some people like to use butter, others olive oil. I found something a little better for my taste, coconut oil. You don't need too much, just like you'd use butter. That's plenty. We're not frying it. And I'm just going to let that heat up here. Make sure the whole pan is coated, so it's ready to go. And I'll set that aside. Now let's go ahead and get to our spices. Now I like to take my spices, put it out on the plate. And like I said earlier, a little bit of thyme, a little bit of sage, a little bit of garlic, a little bit of black pepper, a little bit of nutmeg, and we will use some salt, and there is rosemary in that, and marjoram. Now you don't want too much of either. You can see, just kind of space it out to my taste on top of a plate. Now some people like to do marinades. I like to do more like rubs because I think it works a little bit better for this recipe. So I'm going to go ahead and open up my package here and take out my filet. You need to make sure this is defrosted before you start cooking. Here's one. I'm going to lay it face down here. And the second one, do the same thing. And I'm just going to rub it around on the plate. If you guys don't like it, I don't care. This is the way I do it because I think it works the best. Then I'm going to flip it over, do the exact same thing, get everything I can onto these pieces of meat. Now if I miss a little, I don't care too much. We'll throw that on top in the pan. Make sure you get your edges. Now ostrich steak you want to cook to a medium or medium rare. I prefer everything, at one of those two temperatures. Mostly medium rare for most foods. So let's go ahead and get these in our hot pan. When our pan is good and hot, we're going to go ahead and take off the lid here. And we're going to take our fillets and just lay them across onto the oil. Now I like to take my pan and move it around, get them coated on the edges so they cook evenly. And I'm going to let them sit here for a few minutes, and we'll flip them in a sec. It's been 3 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and flip these. You can see how fast ostrich cooks. Got a nice sear on those spices, just like the way I like it. I'm going to take the rest of those spices, put them over the top. And again, move it around the pan, making sure to get everything coated. Now, on weird pieces of meat like this, you do want to move it and make sure it's cooked on every side, just to sear and hold in the juices. And we'll put our lid back on. When you cook ostrich, I really do recommend a lid on your pan that holds in the moisture. And like I said before, no salt after the very end. Alright, it's been about 2 more minutes. We'll check our steaks again. Looking good. Now, we're going to go ahead and take these and move them onto our plate here to rest. After they've rested for about a minute, we're going to go ahead and salt them to your taste. Smells so good. Then we're going to go ahead and cut and enjoy. Let's see what we got here. Ooh, just the way I like it. A nice medium rare. Beautiful. This is so good. Can't beat that. Anyway guys, rate, comment, subscribe. I'll talk to you guys later.